Hi there everybody, this is Purity Lunar here, and this must be, well yeah, this is actually my first tutorial video. Um, my friend over here is actually doing her own little tutorial video right now. She's making an online board sign, so while she's doing that, I decided to make my own. Not what she's doing, but something else. So just as a disclaimer, um, I'm only sharing with you what I know, and I can't tell you for sure that this will 100% protect you from copy botters, but um, like I know that if you're sharing a demo in World, like this is my store right here. As you can see right here, this is one of my playpens, and I have a demo resed out. And to prevent copy botters, like if they were to right click on it, as you can see, there's a prim in the way, so they can't exactly right click and export it. I'm sure that they have other ways around of doing this, but this is just a pretty, simple way of trying to prevent them from doing it. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It seems pretty self-explanatory, but I actually thought that I knew how to do this, but it's actually a little bit more tricky than I thought it would be. So I'm going to teach you how to do it. Okay, so I'm actually going to get out one of my play pens just to give you an example. Okay, okay, so I'm going to res out one of my red ones. The nice thing about my play pens is that they're sizable, so I'm going to size it down. If you want to check out my play pens, I will give you a link in the description box. Okay, so I've sized it down a little bit just to show you guys an example. Okay, so I'm using Firestorm. So in Firestorm what I did was I entered build and edit mode. What you want to do is create your box. Sorry, a little bit laggy. It's the end of the holidays, so the connections are really bad. So at this point you can stretch it the way that you need to cover your product. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but this won't really protect your products that you sell in your store. This will basically only protect your demonstrations. Okay, so stretch it over your prim and just make sure it's covering the outsides of it. And then we can make it look a little bit neater later. Okay, I'm going to close my chat menu just so it's a little bit easier to see. Okay. And next here is where I screwed up. So when you enter the texture tab, normally your first guess would be to go to the texture tab and click on transparent, but let me show you what happens when you right click on the product when your intentions are to click on the invisible prim. What ends up happening is you're selecting your product, so that's not what we want to happen. So we're going to go back to edit mode, and we're going to go back to our invisible prim. We're going to go back to the texture tab, sorry about that. We're going to go to a blank texture, and then where it says transparency, you're going to type in 99. And it's going to make it transparent, but watch what happens now. You're going to right click on it and it's going to select your invisible prim. Don't ask me why. I have no idea why Linden Labs made it like that, but they did. That was a major F up on their part, and I don't know why. That's just the way they did it. And one more thing that I forgot to mention is when you make your invisible prim and you put it over the top of your demonstration, do not link the two together whatsoever. Just leave the invisible prim as a separated object, because if you link the two together, they'll still be able to copy bot your object, because it'll just copy and save as the whole entire project linked together, and they'll be able to unlink those pieces. So they'll still be able to get your project. So just make sure you don't do that. Yeah, that's basically how you do it. You can rename it whatever you'd like to, but I definitely like to have these in my store when I put out demonstrations, because I actually didn't have them before, but a few days ago I caught somebody copybotting in my store, and right in front of me too, and I knew that she was doing it, so that's when I'm like, yeah, I need to put the invisible prims up. So anyhow, hopefully this is helpful to you, and hopefully your stuff's protected this way. So if you have any questions for me, then feel free to comment. I'm no expert in scripting or building or anything like that. This is just the general knowledge that I've been taught. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy this, and hopefully this helps you out a little bit.